Milo looked at his reflection in the sliding glass door and saw a wolf staring back, just a little closer to the ground and shaped like a hot dog. His owner loved to photograph him in silly costumes, but what nobody understood was that inside this 8-inch tall body lived the heart of a lion. This is Milo, and this is the morning he proved that courage has nothing to do with size and everything to do with the size of your heart. Every morning started the same way. Milo's owner would clip on his red leash and they'd head to Riverside Park, where all the neighborhood dogs gathered. The golden retrievers would prance around like they owned the place. The German shepherds would patrol the perimeter with serious faces. And the huskies, they were too busy showing off their perfect fur to notice anyone else. And then there was Milo. 4 short legs, 1 long body, and ears that dragged on the ground when he walked. The other dogs' owners would smile politely and say things like, "Oh, how cute," or "Look at that little sausage." But Milo didn't want to be cute. He wanted to be respected. And if you're still here but haven't hit that subscribe button yet, it honestly makes us sad, because stories like this, stories about the underdogs who refuse to stay small, need people like you who understand that real strength comes from within. We're building a community of believers right here, people who know that size doesn't define courage. Please subscribe. We need you in our pack. Your support means everything. 3 weeks ago, something changed. Milo's owner decided to take a different path through the park, one that led past the big dog area. You know, that section where only the serious dogs hang out, the ones who weigh more than 50 pounds and have deep, intimidating barks. As they approached, Milo spotted him, Duke, the biggest golden retriever in the entire neighborhood. Duke stood at the fence like a golden mountain, his tail swishing confidently, his eyes scanning the park as if he were the mayor of this entire operation. "Maybe we should go around," Milo's owner whispered, gently tugging the leash. But Milo? He planted his tiny paws in the dirt and refused to move. Not backward anyway. His eyes locked onto Duke with an intensity that made his owner nervous. "Milo, come on, buddy. That dog is literally 10 times your size." But Milo wasn't listening. Something inside him shifted. He was tired of being the joke, tired of being the cute little sausage that everyone cooed over but nobody respected. Today was different. He pulled forward on the leash with surprising strength. His owner, caught off guard, stumbled a step, and before anyone could stop him, Milo marched straight up to the fence where Duke stood watching with curious golden eyes. The entire park went silent. Other dog owners stopped mid-conversation. Even the squirrels seemed to pause in the trees, sensing that something important was about to happen. Milo stood directly in front of the fence, his nose barely reaching the bottom rail, and looked up at Duke with absolute fearlessness. Then he did something nobody expected. He let out the biggest, most confident bark his little body could produce. It wasn't a yip, it wasn't a squeak, it was a declaration. "I see you and I'm not afraid." Duke tilted his massive head, clearly confused. This tiny, hot dog-shaped creature was challenging him? The audacity, the boldness, the sheer ridiculous confidence of it all. Duke leaned down, his huge face now inches from Milo's, and for a moment, everyone held their breath. And then Duke did something that shocked the entire park. He wagged his tail, not in a mocking way, but in genuine respect. He lowered his head, pressed his nose gently against the fence where Milo stood, and made a soft, friendly sound. A sound that said, "You've got guts, little guy. I respect that." Milo's tail shot up like a flagpole, his chest puffed out, and he strutted back to his owner with the confidence of a dog who just won the heavyweight championship of the world. From that moment on, everything changed. The next morning, when Milo returned to the park, something incredible happened. Duke was waiting at the fence, and when Milo approached, Duke barked once, a welcoming bark, a respectful bark. The other big dogs noticed. They started gathering around, curious about this tiny dachshund who'd somehow earned the Golden Retriever King's approval. Within a week, Milo became a legend. The German Shepherds would nod at him when he walked by. The Huskies stopped ignoring him and started inviting him into their games. Even the massive Rottweiler, who terrified every other dog in the park, would sit calmly beside Milo during water breaks, as if protecting him. Children started pointing at him with genuine admiration. "That's Milo," they'd whisper to their parents. "He's the bravest dog in the whole park." Milo understood what he'd given them. Proof that being different doesn't mean being less. One rainy afternoon, a scared little Chihuahua arrived, trembling and refusing to touch the ground. But then she saw Milo. He walked over, calm and confident, and sat beside her. He didn't bark. He didn't jump. His presence said everything she needed to hear. "You're safe. You're enough. You belong here." The Chihuahua took her first brave steps with Milo beside her, Duke following behind like a guardian angel in golden fur. That's when Milo's owner finally understood what her dog had been teaching her all along. But here's the beautiful truth that nobody saw coming. Milo didn't change. He'd always been this brave. He'd always had this fire inside. The only thing that changed was that he finally stopped letting the world define him by his size and started defining himself by his courage. His owner learned something too. She stopped dressing him in silly costumes for likes and started capturing real moments. Milo standing tall beside Duke. Milo leading the pack during morning runs. Milo sitting proudly on his favorite bench, surveying his kingdom with the dignity of a true leader. Because Milo never saw himself as small. He saw himself as exactly what he was. A warrior in a compact package, a lion in a dachshund's body, proof that the size of your heart matters infinitely more than the size of your frame. Milo taught an entire park that respect isn't demanded, it's earned through authenticity. That courage isn't the absence of fear, it's showing up anyway. That true leadership isn't about towering over others, it's about lifting them up. So here's the question for you. Do we become brave by being big, or do we become big by being brave?